think it's a good as time as any to really go into Bryson Hollyhand, who is the most blatant Charlie Kirk ripoff we've ever seen ever since his assassination. Let's go. Now, before we get into our first video and review of it, we're going to look at how many people are following Bryson, or Brilyn, sorry, even worse name, Hollyhand over here. So apparently, he's at 224.1 thousand followers on Twitter. Now, that seems impressive, but keep in mind that he had no engagement until after Charlie died, number one. So people are alleging credibly that he's bodying or something like this. Secondly, also, is that his following has not grown at all since like the week after Charlie died. I think the last video I did weeks ago had him at 222,000 followers, and the guy's barely grown at all. So much for this momentum, so much for being this like spearhead of conservative youth thought and activism on campus. It seems like he's not getting any traction organically. Okay, now, to his credit, I guess, this post does have 158,000 views on Twitter, 18 seconds long. Let's see how he is as an orator. Again, he's, 19, so you can kind of extend a little bit of grace and say, well, actually, this kid is a little awkward. But keep in mind, if you didn't watch the last video, this kid has been groomed from a very early age, like even 10 years ago, to interview these congressmen and whatnot. So here he is with a shill like Brandon Tatum, who just sucks, generally. The officer. They call him Officer Tatum. Let's see what he says.
You know, in a society that constantly tells us to put ourselves first and God last, what we've seen in the last 3 weeks is when you trust the Lord, you trust His plan, as crazy as it may seem, as much of a tragedy, you know, what man meant for evil, the Lord's using for good. And that's what's happened with our generation.
So again, no aura, used for generation. You'll notice, I don't know if he has veneers, he sounds like it for sure. It's probably because he's gay that he has this lisp, and it's like very disconcerting once you pick up on it. If you were to hear him like through a drive-through speaker, you probably couldn't tell that he's fucked up in the head, just going off of the diction of the mouth or whatever. But he's certainly, again, super lispy, and it's a little bit insane because he's like this conservative guy, and I just keep being reminded of Lindsey Graham, who, obviously is supposed to be one of these good old boys from the South, but he's just a short gay guy in the closet with his buddy Tim Scott in the Senate out there in South Carolina. And again, same lisp, same cadence. In fact, I mean, he seems like the prototypical intern for Lindsey Graham. And also keep in mind that, he brings up the Bible so often, and I know it's like a Bible Belt Southern thing, but he's overdoing it, and it's very much in bad taste. Now, this is a more controversial take I'm going to have, but he's been posting himself reading Bible verses, which you could say, oh, that's so benign. And if you're one of the old ladies that watch me, if you're over 40, you probably don't understand the point I'm making. But just watch.
Maybe you're already overwhelmed today, starting the week off, trying to figure out how you're even going to stay on the right path. The Bible says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him.
Number one, his mouth is out of center, or like his lips are kind of off kilter. I don't know what that is. Kind of weird. Now, if you notice, he gives no commentary beside just reading the verse.
And watch it flourish through the rest of the semester.
So again, no commentary, nothing special. He's just reading it. And, the Bible app can do that very well at this point, okay, with AI. So again, I see a lot of precocious conservatives rely on the Bible as a crutch, like, oh, y'all love Jesus. And then the old people with the money, or his dad in this case, is like, oh my God, a young person caring about Christ. And it's like, bro, a lot of these people are bad faith, be it that they actually don't really read the Bible aside from, using it for performative reasons, and even if they do care, it's like they're midwits, and it's like, bro, like, okay, we're talking about politics here. We're not at church right now. It's a Wednesday. Okay, it's a Wednesday. Let's talk about, I don't know, the shutdown, right? Like, what the hell? Now, this clip has 1.5 million views, and it's apparently more viral than anything he has on his own timeline on Twitter, and it's of him getting pressed by someone I assume is a groiper or something.
You're saying you are we're continuing supporting legal immigrants in the country. I said the melting pot absolutely something that we should continue to do.
So we should keep increasing the amount of legal immigrants.
Legal immigrants, yes, we're a melting pot. I absolutely support that.
So again, Charlie Kirk from 2019 is calling from heaven, okay? Because seriously, what the hell? So melting pot, again, this is very much centrist political social studies teacher in high school. That's what it's giving. And, it's a younger vessel than Charlie, but it's giving the same talking points that he gave 6 years ago, which is very much misinformed and is probably, again, not in a genuine way being said by him. He's literally saying that he wants more legal immigration, which, again, if you're conservative at all and you've seen what has happened with all the illegals even, you want more people in general, it doesn't really make sense.
The question wasn't about illegal immigration, it's about legal immigration.
And I think we should support more people coming legally and not illegally.
Okay, I think we all understand what your position is. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
All right, so there you go. Out of the guy's mouth several times now. supports more legal immigration. Just a stray for Brandon Tatum here, who I see on the Hollyhand timeline. He's over here seeing, see, leader of the next generation of God-fearing men. You see all the bait, man. It really just makes my blood boil. Just, again, pandering to religion. Half of these people don't go to church when the cameras aren't on them, okay? Number one. Number two, Tatum trying to make anybody believe with his audience that, oh, yeah, this guy is the next leader. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Brilyn Hollyhand. You know, like, he's probably one of the least qualified people I can think of that could be said is like a leader candidate to replace Charlie Kirk. Number one, Charlie Kirk was in his 30s. This kid is 19 or 20. There's just off of the age alone, he probably can't like run everything himself. And he evidently hasn't been able to, even with all the money in the world from daddy. Okay? Like, come on. This kid has no aura. He's fucking closeted. And you could say that about, you know, a lot of other people in the movement, and sure, that's probably true. But a lot of those other people at least have more aura, more talent, more intelligent. This guy has really nothing going for him. I mean, you could pluck any random frat dude from Old Miss, and he'd probably be a better leader than this kid. Okay? He's a twink. All right, this is going to sound petty and rude, but that's what a lot of people watch me for, I'm honest. And I gotta just say, dude, this kid's aesthetic is so strange. The body's built really weird. He's like 5'10" or something, but he's got like the body of like an anorexic 6'6" guy, which is quite weird. He's got toothpick for legs, right? Toothpicks, multiple. Super weird figure, like skinny fat also. The waist ratio, I know it's weird, but like, come on, this is not leadership quality. Okay, now look at this. Brandon just digs himself into a deeper hole here. He says, let me add this. I spent the better part of Saturday evening with Brilyn Hollyhand and his mom at an incredible event. He is among the most impressive young people I have ever been around. Oh, come on, really? That's like saying some like decent looking girl working at the grocery store is like one of the hottest chicks you've been around and you live on campus at a, you know, around a sorority house. Like, come on. Stop lying. Now, he goes, I watched the way he treated people, how mature he was, how well-spoken he was, and how confident and humble he was. Oh my God, ChatGPT, can I glaze someone? How much are you getting paid, Brandon Tatum? By the way, there's such a thing as influenceable, which apparently pays people in the conservative movement, for example, to more or less just verbatim copy and paste different things so that these companies or whatever benefit from like subtle advertisement. And so, I mean, this is not anything better than, it's not any better than selling red light therapy or drinking your own piss almost. Call it the Bear Grylls vitamin water. Anyway, he goes and says, he was much more impressive in person. Come on, really? He's chopped online. You think in person he's going to sound less gay? Come on. Okay, he also says, he reminded me a lot of a young Charlie. I knew Charlie well. I would not say it if I did not mean it. Well, number one, you piece of shit. You probably got paid for this post, if I had to guess. So, number one, that's a lie, right? Two, I gotta say, this is just such a bastardization of Charlie's like legacy. Just on his grave saying, you remind me of this person, knowing damn well he's not anything close. And again, I'm not even the biggest Charlie guy. Like, I didn't even watch him regularly. He was just not my type of, you know, podcast to watch or listen to. That said, though, well, a lot more talented than Brilyn ever will be. And you could say, oh, well, you know, Charlie was 20 at one point. And it's like, at 20, he was a lot better than Brilyn. He looked less gay and sounded less gay, too. Come on. Jesus. Also, this is very sus. The reply that Brilyn gives is, thank you, friend. This means a lot. Heart emoji, bruh. Bro, what straight adult male sends his other straight adult male, allegedly, a red heart emoji in any context? I know, like on Instagram or something, if you quick like a post, it has a heart thing, but like that's not gay. That's just a convenience thing. Pause. But Brilyn over here is sus as hell. He's not beating the allegations. He's leaning into it. It's like if the intro to my video was Born This Way by Lady Gaga. It's on that level. Come on. Now, this is pretty interesting stuff here. All right, so this random person replies to Tatum and says, maybe Tyler Boyer, who's one of the higher-ups in Turning Point, says, could have him on the show so we could all get to know him better. And then I support what he's doing, but if he had more exposure in the TPUSA space, it may help. Again, very stupid suggestion, very insulting for him to even come up with this random person on Twitter, that is. Tyler Boyer himself says, I support anyone and everyone getting involved. I would love to see Brilyn and anyone else who wants to do speaking events to also lead in the activism front. That's what Charlie did. Start a chapter, register voters, knock on doors, do the work. That's how leaders lead. Now, this is interesting because Tyler might be, to an idiot, they might read that and say, wow, he's supporting Brilyn after denouncing him earlier. And I gotta say, that's not the point. He's saying, hey, Brilyn, if you want to do the bitch work like Charlie helped do, as in like do the hard stuff, go out in the sun in Maricopa, go out in Phoenix and convert voters and, help turnout for the election. If you want to do the grunt work, work in the gutter, then go ahead and do that. That's not an invitation or an endorsement at all. It's like if I were to say, hey, I'm fighting ISIS. Turkey, if you want to bomb ISIS, go ahead, but we're not friends. That's basically what it means, because it's a common goal here, which is to have Republicans win. And so that's why there's a spectrum in politics, no? So this is not an endorsement by any means. Now, this D-bag Brilyn says, thank you, Tyler, absolutely anytime. In this fight together for Charlie, super fucking gay, brother. Oh my god, I had to curse. No. Jesus. I promised I did not inspect element of Brett Cooper tweet. This is what Brilyn, an adult straight male, said. This speaks to a larger problem in society. We're fed the lie that it's empowering to never get married or have kids, but instead it's life's greatest joy. Thankful that all people, T Swift, so not, he doesn't say Taylor Swift, he says T Swift like they're friends or like he's a mega fan. It's like if instead of saying Eminem, I say, yo, Shady said this, hey, yo, Slim. It's like, bro, I don't know you, I don't know him. What the fuck is this? It's parasocial. Jesus. Anyways, T Swift is changing her tune on this and hopefully inspires her fan base to start families. Okay, again, super gay coded. Like Brett Cooper, I think, made a video about like, is Taylor Swift becoming more conservative? Like, okay, you're a 23-year-old girl. That makes sense. That's appropriate. I respect it. You are a straight guy talking about Taylor Swift, mogging Emma Watson on the question of marriage. It's like what the fuck? All right, boys and girls, this is going to be an epic clip. All right, this is him in the wild presenting to, 80 people. Again, he has all the money in the world, so this is like pretty bad. But listen to what he says. Again, he's trying to go for like a MAGA populist tone here.
You see, our generation grew up with the politicians of Bush and Obama, who walked out with a talking point memo script that a consultant handed them as they touched the stage, and they didn't shy away from that script. And that's all right, but this guy was new. He was like fresh out of the box, very much off script the entire debate. And I was like, this is a unique communication style. No, I had not made it to the point.
Dude, okay, so now he's saying that at 9 or 10 years old in those debates in 2015 or 2016, he's like, Donald Trump, his communication's out of the box. Who the fuck talks like that at 10?
No, I had not made it to the point in fourth grade history where I learned about political parties, but I did know that this guy had something special with his style. That's all I knew at the time. I didn't really.
How dumb are you? Wait, so you can assess a candidate's viability, or rather, you get like an informed impression as to how he is as a person, but you can't even tell what the difference is between a Democrat and a Republican. I knew that when I was 5. Like political autist to political autist, I think you're taking false street cred here. It's stolen valor.
I pay a lot of attention throughout the election at that point, again, in fourth grade. But I specifically remember going to our library, casting my mock ballot with my classmates, and being so excited when I woke up the next morning to hear that the orange-faced guy with blonde hair won the election. You see,
you are so fucking lame. God, it sounds like I'm jealous, and I'm not really, though. I would like his money. Because, dude, that was so impressively lame. That was so fucking lame, bro. I could hear more enjoyable political stuff from Destiny. Yes, that guy, Steve Bennell. Come on, bro. Also, keep in mind, this is, some people would say maybe people are getting paid to go to these things because, like, why the hell would you watch this? But then keep in mind that there is this gentleman right here who, if he is in college, is balding like a monk. He's got the monk hairdo, and I gotta say, this looks like the typical Brilyn Hollyhand appreciator. All right, and finally, for our last little part of the video, we have the most recent thing that I find quite cringe by Mr. Hollyhands himself. The jokes write themselves, sorry. He says, it's been 1 month since 2 babies didn't have their father to tuck them in. Our generation lost a leader and haven't gained an angel. What man meant for evil, the Lord has used for good. You can kill a man, but you can't kill a movement. Revival is spreading, okay? Now, of course, he puts the pictures he has with Charlie himself, makes it about himself, which, again, is such a common thread with these Tatum types and these other conservative people. It's like, brother, can you just, like, if you're going to say it's been a month since my friend died, okay, cool. You don't have to post pictures of yourself to be like, oh my God, I knew him. Guys, I knew him. And what's so desperate about this is that Charlie probably barely would even remember who he was if you were to ask him the day before he died, like, who's Brilyn? He'd be like, I don't know. I know, like, literally tens of thousands of, like, people his age. Like, I don't fucking know who that white kid is. So, I mean, it's just pathetic. It's like if I've met Eric Prince, right? That guy who owns the largest private military contractor thing. Okay, I've met him before. What am I going to be like? Oh, I have a picture with him. He died a month ago. Oh my God. It's like, dude, that's in bad taste. It's pathetic, buddy. So anyhow, like the video if you like the content. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Comment down below what your thoughts are, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Adios.